Everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And today I'm here with you for the 2022-2023 annual catalog launch. I absolutely love this catalog, and I hope you have it in your hot little hands when this goes live, because this is such an amazing catalog. And today I get to show you it's called the Wisteria Wishes Bundle. And I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with this. And then some cards that I've made with the bundle. Wisteria is one of my favorite flowers, and you don't see it very often, but I've lived in two places where there's wisteria. You see it a lot. So I lived in New Westminster, British Columbia. It was the original capital of British Columbia, and so there are some very old homes. And even along some of the streets where there are no homes any longer, you see wisteria growing. It seems to last and live a very long time. And then I lived in a house in North Vancouver where the entire back deck in the spring was covered and, in fact, almost filled with wisteria. It was absolutely stunning. And for a period of time in the springtime, we actually couldn't get out onto the deck or onto the parts of the deck because it was so covered with wisteria. So when I saw this bundle in the annual catalog, I knew this was one that I absolutely had to have. All right, enough chat. Let's get on to this, and I will show you this amazing bundle. All right, so this bundle is on page 92 of the annual catalog, and so it is a bundle. It will be different pricing. I'm not going to give you the pricing because it will be different in different markets. It includes the stamp set with these great sentiments and different fonts, as well as the dies. So you can check it out on page 92 of the catalog. But let me show you. This is the stamp set again, and then the dies. So there are 10 stamps. It is a photopolymer stamp set, and you have the leaves. These are some hanging wisteria. Again, you can do the two-step stamping. These actually remind me of the stems, the leaves, the stalks that you see on corn plants. Corn, I guess it's plants. That's why I'm waiting to see somebody make this to have corn on it. But I will show you a card that I have used this on. So it's a great stamp set along with these great dies. So these two dies will cut out the wisteria pieces, and then there's the leaves that you can cut out without stamping. And then this kind of vine, which wisteria grows on a vine. And then you, of course, have the dies that you can cut out the stamped images. Okay, so let's get on with the card. I'm going to do some masking on my card today. And so, first of all, I have a piece of thick, basic white cardstock. I got my trimmer here. Now, this is in Imperial, so this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm scoring this at 5 1/2. Now, if you're working in metric, you would cut half of your size of paper on the long side. I always use my trimmer or my scoring tool to score my cardstock. It just gives you a much nicer fold. So this is the side I scored on. I always say fold into the mountain, which is the raised line. You won't be able to see this, but this is the raised line that I just scored. So fold into that raised line or into the mountain. And just fold this over. Use your bone folder to get a really nice crease on your cardstock. Okay, so that will be your card base. Now, I've already gone ahead. I am using, this is the designer series paper with the in colors. It comes in a 6x6 pack. Bring it in. It is here. So it comes a 6x6. This is the 2022-2024 in colors. So we have Starry Sky, Parakeet Party. These are just such pretty in colors. This is one I'm using. This is Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide, and Sweet Sorbet. Just so pretty, and some nice new patterns on the designer series paper. So I have gone ahead and cut these out using the scallop contour dies. So I'm using this is the largest die, and then I'm using the second largest die, and I have cut a piece of basic white cardstock using the second largest. So this is going to be the front of my card. When I cut my piece of designer series paper, I cut it to be 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then I cut the die out. Well, I had this little piece. Don't throw these little pieces away. They're great for putting, I'm going to put this on the inside of my card, so I'm just going to save that. All right, let's just move. I'm going to do some stamping first. Now I'm going to show you masking. There is a new product in the catalog which I haven't been able to get. It wasn't available in the pre-order that demonstrators are able to do, but it's called masking paper, and it's going to make masking just so much easier. But I'm going to show you how to do masking if you don't have that masking paper. So the first thing I am going to do is I have got a piece of Post-it. This is a large Post-it note, so it's sticky on the top. So what you want to do is you can stamp your image, or in this case, there is a die, so you actually don't have to stamp, but I did. So you're going to stamp your image so you could see, and then you're going to cut it out using the die. Now for my card, I need 2 pieces. So I have gone ahead and cut out 2 masks that I'm going to use on my card. So what we're going to use these for is we're going to stamp and then we're going to cover it over. And that allows us to make it look like our images are kind of 3-dimensional, one in front of the other. So the first thing you want to do is you want to stamp the image that you want to be in the front or the focal. So I am going to stamp using, this is the new Orchid Oasis color. So this is one of the new in colors. So I am going to go ahead and stamp this at close to the top. I'm leaving maybe about 1/2 inch. Isn't that pretty? It's just so pretty. Okay, so now I want to cover this over using one of the masks that I cut out. Okay. Now, one of the things with Post-it note paper, when you Post-it notes, when you're using it, is they will flip up a little bit, but the new masking paper is sticky. The whole piece is sticky. Now I'm using Highland Heather. I thought that would look pretty with it, so I'm just gonna take my scrap and just stamp this off. Really, might have my Stampin' Scrub or a chamois here, but I don't. Okay, so we're gonna ink this up. Now I am going to now stamp this over top of it. And so now when I peel this mask off, you can see that I've got the pieces, these pieces in Highland Heather are looking like they are behind. And if I want to do that again, which I would do, I'm going to ink this up. And now I'm going to stamp off this, and I'm just going to put this here onto the other side so that I've got some wisteria kind of filling the card. Now, the other thing that I could do is, let's see, if I put this, where am I going to put this? Put this here. So I guess I will need that other piece. I'm going to use my Orchid Oasis again. Just going to stamp off to get rid of some of this ink. There we go. And I'm going to stamp over top and put this like this. So I'm really filling. If you've ever seen wisteria, it really does. It just is just a mass of blooms. So now I've got my wisteria kind of covering over the side of my card, or the top of my card. Now, I need my 2 masks. So we're going to cover over this mask, this wisteria here, and this one here. Because now we're going to stamp the leaves. So I'm using Parakeet Party. I thought this color would go nicely. So I'm going to use this one. Now, this actually has 3 lines which line up. If you're only stamping the wisteria, it lines up perfectly with these wisteria flowers. But because I'm not so worried about that, in fact, really, I'm not even going to see that because it's they're going to be covered over by my masks. All right, so we're going to kind of go. I'm going to fill the top of my card with the leaves as much as I can. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think I need some more leaves. So let's keep kind of coming. And I'm just shifting my stamp because I really do want this to fill the top of my card. There we go. I've got leaves across the top and I'm okay with that. So you really are just kind of making it so that the leaves, you're not seeing the green leaves below. You've just kind of got this mass of blooms. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I have grabbed the sentiment that says, "To a friend who's all kinds of wonderful." So I'm just going to stamp this. Being photopolymer, you can see through it, so it makes it easy to stamp and get it pretty straight. Okay, so now we can start putting our card together. Isn't that pretty? Oh gosh. All right, I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this up. And because this is a fairly big piece, I'm going to put some dimensionals in the middle, just so the middle of my rectangle doesn't sag. And then we'll just adhere this on. Like that. And then we can put, and I'm not going to pop this up. I'm going to use liquid glue. You can use whatever your favorite adhesive is. These days, mine seems to be the liquid glue. All right, let's get that straight. Okay, so what do I want to use for embellishments? Well, I've grabbed a couple of things. So these are the In Color, the new In Color matte decorative dots. And then these are this is the In Color Baker's Twine. So there are actually 10 yards on each of these. So if you look at the price, you'll see the price kind of makes you think, oh my gosh, that's expensive. But there are actually 10 yards of twine on each of these rolls. So I'm going to use the two. I'm using the Orchid Oasis, if I can find the end. There it is. And the Parakeet Party. Here's the end of that. And I'm going to just kind of twist these together like that. And I'm just going to tie a bow using these two pieces of twine tied together, twisted together. And we'll just cut that off like that. And then using a glue dot, and there we go. My take your pick tool. Can't live without my take your pick tool. We're just going to put that bow right in the corner. And then let's take some of these. Let's do one there using Parakeet Party. And these come in all 5 of the In Colors. They're kind of an ombre effect, so you probably can't see that, but they're actually, they kind of go from darkest to lightest, which is really nice. And let's just kind of use a mix, and we're just going to put that down there in the corner. And then the last thing I want to do is, I'm not going to put a sentiment in here, but you absolutely could. I'm just going to take this little piece of designer series paper that I had left over and put it on the inside of the card. Just nice to finish the inside of the card, even if you don't put a sentiment on it. If you know who it's going to go to and what you want it to say, then absolutely stamp a sentiment. But I'm just going to put this in, and at least that's finished. And all I would have to do is write a note when I get there. So there we go. So that's my card, and with some masking tips. And don't forget to check out both the Wisteria Wishes bundle as well as the masking paper when the catalog goes live actually today. All right, let me show you some other cards that I have made. So here's another one. Again, I've used in this one Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather and Evening Evergreen for the leaves. I did not do any masking on this one. It was just stamping the images. And then there is a smaller one. I didn't use this one today. There is a smaller one that you can use as a background. And then these are the pastel pearls. And just some stamping on the inside of the card to finish that off. So that's another fairly easy, just stamping. Now here's one that I used. Now this is the stamp set that I said look like corn stalks. And if you turn the stamp that I used upside down, like that, you end up with these that it looks like, to me, looks like grape hyacinths. So you can make a different flower using this. I have used a piece of vellum and I stamped on the back of the vellum with other small little stamp that kind of coordinates with these, the stamp. Use some of the metallic mesh behind it, and again, some pastel pearls. This is in Orchid Oasis and Garden Green, I believe. And again, I just did a stamp on the inside of it. Here's one where I use the dies that you can cut out both the leaves, and that's in Garden Green, and then the hyacinth pieces. Now, this is the silver foil. So this is in the silver foil package, there are 3 different kinds of foil. This one has kind of got a purple tinge to it, and I wasn't really sure what to do with it, but it very nicely coordinates. It's got that purple tinge, and so I coordinated it with this. This is the new 1/8 inch metallic ribbon that is available in all of the in colors. It does fray fairly easily. This, I forced it to fray. I took the pointy end of my take your pick tool and actually kind of pulled it through to fray it. And then on the inside, again, I did some stamping, fairly easy. Now here's one. I made a Christmas card because when you turn this stamp upside down that I used, it kind of looks like Christmas trees. So I have, you might not be able to see that, I have embossed this. This is very vanilla. I embossed this with the Fern embossing folder, which is in the new catalog. I can't remember what suite that's from. This is Evening Evergreen. So I've used a stamp from one of the ones that carried over from the mini catalog. This is Evening Evergreen. This ribbon, I was so happy this open weave ribbon carried over. An Evening Evergreen, some crumb cake. I stamped the stamp behind it in crumb cake, and then stamp this in Evening Evergreen and cut it out. These are the new, I think they're called rustic metallic dots. So those are new embellishments in the new catalog. And again, I just did some stamping of the trees. So it just goes to show you there are lots of ways, if I bring these in, to use this Wisteria Wishes stamp set, including making a Christmas card and then a different flower than the Wisteria. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Just gonna switch back over. I hope you check it out. This catalog, like I said, is amazing, and I really hope that you'll take a look at everything in the catalog, and hopefully that you will add the Wisteria Wishes to your wish list when you're submitting your order. And also, don't forget to check out the new in colors, because Stampin' Up! Has just done an amazing job with them. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you love the catalog as much as I do, and I hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.